But we actually
Ichida, they hated you.
What?
The guys running that bar absolutely hated you.
Really? Because let me guess, because he didn't buy anything to drink.
No, well,
not just
that. Itchy decided to be an ass. Not only did he not buy anything to drink, he brought his own bottle of Diet Pepsi into the building and drank it. He chugged it right in front of their faces when they asked him to buy something.
Oh no!
And I did not get kicked out. I was standing there like, I don't know him. He's totally not working.
That's something I would have done.
They didn't kick me out. I was good.
I was sitting there like,
I should have been there.
He totally doesn't work for me. Anyway. Anyways.
That was fun.
So yeah, I had enough issues trying to get our stuff plugged in, and it wasn't happening for the first little while. And I couldn't help but notice, like, the crowd that was showing up, even though we didn't have the J-pop stuff or any of the anime tunes I had ready to go, these guys were trying their damnedest to sing something anime-related. One of these guys dug through the book of karaoke songs and found the Speed Racer theme.
Yeah.
Yeah!
And he sang that, and I was like, that's cool, that's cool, great. And the next person pops up, and they found Kids in America.
Nice.
I'm like, and I was sitting there like, I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you, from the Digimon movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
And then after like an hour or so of this one girl we're sitting and talking with.
This one girl that we were sitting and chatting with the whole time disappeared for about 5 minutes. She comes back suddenly and says, they said it's okay to plug in your laptop.
And I was
just sitting there like, what?
You are awesome!
It's like, I want to hire you next year.
No, Anna, if you're watching this, seriously.
You're joining our crew.
You are joining us.
You are joining our crew. You helped a lot. Anyways, so here we are. And I get my laptop plugged in. We're finally starting, and I think I maybe got to play 3 songs because they were still being they were being dumb about it. They were like, we have so many requests for stuff out of the book, we don't want to play your stuff. So even though our guys were like before,
people were getting accustomed to
the book. It was because
wasn't there only like one sheet with the anime stuff on it?
I had a couple pages actually of song titles.
No, you should have found their list and just stole it.
But here's the thing. So they were like, we have so many. So even though our guys were requesting stuff at the same time as the guys from the book, our guys were being stuck in a separate pile, and every so often they go, okay, you get 2 songs. Go.
That sucks.
And so I got maybe 2-3 songs of anime stuff in the whole night, but I got it in.
I got to sing.
We tried it. And
I got to sing something. That was fun.
But at the end of the night, everybody was still having a blast. Everybody was singing stuff. And
it was such a good time.
And I think my favorite part of that, I actually did sing at the karaoke, but nobody knew it.
Yeah, we
were
were all just having a good time in the corner of the room.
I asked him about it later, and he's like, "You did what now?"
We were all just having a good time, chatting about whatever, and some guy pulled out his laptop and playing a game.
And I'm sitting there like,
it was just such a good time. And then Raven comes by and like,
oh yeah, I just sang a song.
I am so sorry.
No, but the funny thing is like stealth karaoke. I just did it.
What did you sing?
Like I didn't pick any songs. It was just there was just this one time that I was just like, I'm standing there waiting. The song's starting to play, but nobody's up at the front. Nobody's coming up to claim the song. So I'm just like, fuck it, I like this song. Pick up the microphone I've had with me the whole time, and I just start singing from where I've been standing the whole time. And nobody in the room knew I was doing it.
What were you singing, though?
That was a Bon Jovi song.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I like
this
song.
That's why.
The funny thing is, the whole corner of the room that we were in, half of us were planning to get up all at once and rickroll everybody. I don't think that ever actually happened.
No, it didn't happen. Nobody sang the rickroll. Nobody did it.
That was disappointing because freaking last year, Derek Steven played
but that was before Rick
ago.
Astley killed the rickroll.
Yeah. He started
actually, it was 09.
But, anyways. But, yeah, I think one of the highlights of the night was when Mike McFarlane and Brad Swale showed up and they did their songs.
Yeah, they each sang a song.
And we did get that recorded.
But we're not allowed to put it up.
Yeah, but because of a request from them, we are not allowed to put that up on YouTube.
It's for our own personal pleasure.
Not
DVD release.
Not that I'm not sure
Loophole.
Not that I'm not sure that it isn't already up on YouTube because some people probably ignored them, but because we were working with them, we are going to honor their request.
Just a disclaimer, if that video is on YouTube, it's not ours.
However, what do you think the ruling is on
Blip?
No, when Brad Swale sang in his panel.
That I actually looked through that video today. He didn't say anything about not putting that.
I think that's fair game.
You know what? He mentioned it because he said he was changing the lyrics. He says, if it was just me and you, no problem. Me and you too, problem. Exact words. So I think we're okay to put that one up.
Yeah,
okay.
I think we're perfectly okay with that one.
Only for you guys. I realized partway through that song, I'm wearing a hockey helmet. And an axe. Well, that was kind of fun. I guess I should probably introduce myself. Hi, my name's Brad. I'm an idiot. Clearly.
But yeah, I think... So yeah, the karaoke ended up going really well that night, despite all the little hiccups at the end. Everyone enjoyed themselves. A couple of people almost passed out drunk.
Okay, well that goes very well. But you say you only played 2 or 3 anime songs. How did this go very well? People almost passed out drunk. I see what you did there.
Yeah, no, it actually wasn't just that.
Actually, it was a lot of people.
Even the non-anime songs were really popular ones.
All these people were really loving it. Even the regulars at the bar with no clue where all these people came from. We're just like, yeah, this is awesome. Nice. We have a party going.
It was such a great time.
It was great. And yeah, but yeah, it went really well. And then, went back to the hotel. Asshole.
We didn't sleep at all.
So, as much as I want to avoid the stories of the hotel room for Fan Expo, I have to get into this one.
Oh dear.
Because you and Kevin are a bunch of assholes. See, the point of the matter is, the only 4 people in the hotel room were me, Fleet, Kevin, and Mike.
Paul stayed that night.
Oh, Paul slept on the floor.
Was it Friday?
No, that was that night. He was with me at karaoke the whole time, and he just didn't want to take the...
He slept under the table again.
That didn't stop you from stepping on him.
I'll tell it after you tell yours.
But anyways, I get back to the hotel room, and him, Kevin, and Mike had been out drinking. So they got back to the hotel room, and they crashed way before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
So I get back to the hotel room, and I had been informed earlier that morning I was supposed to be sharing the other side of the bed from Fleet's, because Kevin didn't want me on there anymore. Because Kevin rolls around a lot. Let's just leave it at that. But anyways.
Avalanche!
Anyways, so I'm supposed to be over there, but I get into the room, and Fleet's is just like... all over the bed. And I look over at Kevin, and Kevin's actually rolled over to the corner of the bed, so he's leaving half of it open.
Oh,
so I'm just like, so I know where I'm sleeping.
Oh,
so
fuck.
I get onto that side of the bed, and I don't know what it was. I had this like quick little thing where I thought I forgot my camera back at the karaoke bar, so I quickly like jolted up out of the bed, had to check my bag just to make sure, and I had it. I guess I was really tired at the time. So the minute I moved down to the bottom of the bed, Kevin rolls over and sprawls himself into the entire fucking bed. So here I am standing there, like, occupied, bags in between, Mike on the floor, Paul's already passed out.
Mike is in the nook between the wall and the bed.
Mike managed to...
I looked at the picture, and for some reason it looked like he was sleeping in a drawer.
Yeah, I almost thought that too. But no, so here's, like, the entire room is full. I can't find... There's nowhere to sleep. So I'm just like, well, crap, what am I going to do? So I walk over to Fleet's bed, and I'm looking, and Fleet's, like, shuffles just a little. I pick up his leg, shove him the hell out. He doesn't wake up. And I just kind of roll into bed and just go to sleep on the corner of the bed. And the next morning, I wake up to Paul screaming.
Yeah, okay.
What?
I think I set my alarm or something on my phone, because I remember getting up to go check my phone. So I'm walking over to the table. I step on something. All I hear is, ah! I look down. Ah! I jump. I'm like, what the hell is that? All I see is like there's like a shoe here. There's like a shirt here, a jacket here. It looks like a random pile of clothes. All you see is the clothes pile move. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
It's alive!
All you see is like hands pop out and like, what the hell happened? What was that? I look down. Paul? Paul, is that you? He's like, what happened? I just stepped on you. He's like, why'd you do that? I didn't know you were there.
I thought you were clothes.
Oh, but yeah.
That is...
So that was
Is
that
it just
day.
me, or do we have more fun at cons in the hotel rooms than we do at the cons?
A lot of the time, yeah.
Because like Anime North, like
Yeah.
Otakon.
Yeah, Otakon.
This is not.
Otakon.
We'll tell that story another time.
That's a different...
We'll tell that story another time.
But
yeah.
But yeah.
Your comics did pretty good doing that.
Oh yeah. No, but so yeah, so Sunday's up at that point. It's we're ready to start the next day. I looked at my schedule the night before, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything until like 2 in the afternoon. I can actually sleep a little.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm lying in bed, and everyone else is getting ready to leave. And
we leave. I look over at the bed. I'm looking at the schedule. Like, doesn't Raven have something to do? And it's like, yeah. I was like, why is he still asleep? It's like, I don't know. And then we just leave.
Yeah. So
we assume Raven knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So
the issue is beforehand, we actually had 2 different versions of the schedule. Because we had one that we wrote down on our Google Docs in Word, and then we had another one that Ichi made later from that he put into Excel, so it was actually a spreadsheet, a time block thing. So I printed that out because it was a little better organized, and I could actually like see what everybody was doing at any given time. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Ichi seemed to have messed up a few things on that list. So there was a number of... So the entirety of Sunday, between my schedule and the one that Fleets and Kevin and Mike were using, so many things just didn't match up, and so many people weren't there for things. So I was like livid. Like, I managed to get to my first event on time, like miraculously. I get up and I'm walking down Front Street, and I'm just like, I'm looking at the schedule, but I'm looking at the anime schedule too, and I'm like, but there's something there.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and somebody's not scheduled for something. I'm like, wait, he's doing that, but he's supposed to be there, and what?
Yeah.
So I phoned Fleets and like, Fleets, who has Brad Swail this morning?
I'm pretty sure it's you.
And I'm like, well, and I just bolt for the convention center.
Whoops.
I managed to get to Brad Swail's thing, and thank God Brad is good about that and got there on his own on time. So I get there just as he gets there, and we're both just setting up, and we get everything ready, and we're getting ready to go. And as Brad's getting settled in and getting his stuff done, I look down the thing, and I'm looking over at the far side, and there's Veronica Taylor, and I'm sitting there like, there's nobody with her right now. Flip through schedule. Schedule says Kevin's supposed to be with her. So I'm just like, call Kevin. Where are you? Oh, I've got free time right now, so I'm with Fleets in the dealer's room. Yeah. I'm just like, I need you over here with Veronica Taylor now. Because there's nobody with her. And he ends up sending Mike instead. But, so Mike's dealing with her. And Ichi shows up with Vic, I think, and then has to run off somewhere with Wayne. So Vic's there on his own, and Vic's just like, oh, my fiance needs to go into the dealer's room to go look around, and I need somebody to run my cash for me. And I'm just like, Fleets was supposed to have him right now. Yeah. Fleets, I need you up here. Oh, I traded that with Lane.
Yeah, because at the time, me and Kevin
we've been switching around people so much. And it's I traded that off with Lane. And I'm looking, and Lane's with Veronica Taylor.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then in the middle of that, and I haven't gotten his response yet, so I just sent him, saying I need him to be here.
Yeah.
So then Vic is asking me, I need someone there. And I'm like, I've already called one of my guys. It's Chris, the guy who ran your audio yesterday at your concert. And he's like, oh man, I like him. He's a great guy. He really got things together. And I get my text back from Fleets like immediately at that exact moment saying, I traded off with Lane. I'm doing something else.
Yeah,
and I'm just like...
Well, the plan was at the beginning of the day. Me and Kevin realized we didn't get much filming done for all the content we wanted to make on Saturday. So I'm like, okay, I've only got this one event. I'm going to hand it off to Lane because he doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
So me and Kevin, we go off and we start shooting our things. Then you call about the one thing. Yeah, we
have the issue.
And then you call about the other thing. And then you're like, do you really want Lane handling money? I'm sitting. I'm on the phone and I'm like,
point. You have made one.
I'm on my way.
And it wasn't even that. I had to text you, like when you said I traded that off with Lane. I sent 2 messages at the same time. The first one was, he's asking for you.
Yeah.
And then, do you really trust Lane with money?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And you just come on over and you help deal with that. And
the thing was, apparently...
Well, actually, I got lucky with that because Vic had to get on a plane and leave early, so that his thing got cut short to like an hour.
Well, with that... And I ended up being the one to go upstairs and have to tell his entire
There was like a rat race with that because once we found out that was happening, one of the guys running the autograph thing was like, "Who's your event coordinator?" I'm like, "What's this guy?" They're like, "Call him." I'm like, "Shit, I have no reception on my phone." Yeah. So I had to go run and find you, and then I eventually got reception and called you, and then you had to run and go set up a sign.
Yeah. And then I had to go set up a sign as well as tell the lineup that was there. I do not kid you. It was half an hour before it was supposed to start. The lineup wrapped around the entire hallway.
Yeah?
And I had to go up there and tell all of these people that Vic Mignogna was not going to be showing up for this panel that they've been sitting there waiting for.
Wow.
And I was just like, don't kill me. Please.
Interesting thing, according to Lane, he actually had a lot of fun hanging out with Veronica Taylor.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh,
him and her got pretty chummy.
Some of us had some fun with Veronica. Like Kevin. Like
yeah,
you know this story. So I think it was on either the Sunday morning or the Saturday afternoon.
I think it was Sunday.
No, actually, I think it was before the concert. I got the call about the concert while I was in this room.
Okay.
So it was the Saturday afternoon, and so I'm in the green room where the guests all go to take a break, and I'm like moving stuff off the cameras onto my laptop, and I'm just taking a break in there, and so Kevin walks into the room, and he finds me behind the curtain, and he's just like, okay, so... And he's sitting there, we're chatting, he looks over, and he seems to recognize somebody. He's like, wait, who's that at the table over there? And I'm like, oh, that's Veronica Taylor. And he's just like, Ash Ketchum? And I'm just like, yeah. Give me a moment. So Kevin walks through the curtain and walks over to this table, and he's like, so I hear you're the Veronica Taylor. And she's like, yep. And he's like, from Pallet Town? And he's expecting like, whatever.
Yeah.
Come on, why would you do that here? Because she's on she's on break, But instead, she puts on the Ash Ketchum voice immediately and just responds to him with, "Yep, straight from Pallet Town." And Kevin's just standing there with this absolute shocked face.
I am so sorry I missed that.
And I'm behind the curtain. I couldn't see her face. All I heard was Ash Ketchum just saying that. And I'm just like...
Nice.
I'm just like, oh my god, that was priceless.
Nice.
And Kevin just kind of came back like, she trolled me.
Counter-trolled.
It's like, you tried to troll her first.
Nice.
It was amazing. But yeah, I think Sunday went pretty well. Like, I don't know, something happened on Sunday. Like, I remember something happened on
I was actually with
Sunday.
Chris
I
Sabat
just don't
again
The
on
one
remember.
thing I remember is the Vic being cancelled.
It might have been part of it.
And having to fend off hordes and hordes of fangirls and fanboys.
Oh, that was me Friday at his autograph session when I had to cut the line short.
Ha.
I had that same problem. But, it
Oh,
happens.
it was the panel. The
Right,
5-minute anime
right.
pitch.
Well, before we get to that, I just wanted a quick thing about I was with Chris Sabat again
Okay.
for his voice acting 101. First thing he did was get all the catchphrases out of the way.
Yeah, he
That
does
was
that a
fun.
lot. Like at the Dragon Ball Z panel, which we already have up on the site, he was like, every time somebody asked him a question that would entail the "it's over 9,000" response, he would personally avoid it.
Yeah.
Off the bat.
The one-
He answered it something else, but always somewhere in there he'd just sneak it in.
He'd sneak it in when the cameras were supposed to be
Like,
pointing
when-
at a flying Timbit.
Yeah, and it's like he'd throw a Timbit across the room just for like, yeah, you got a Timbit. It's over 9,000.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
From flap stuff, a difficult role. It depends on what you mean by difficult. There are some that are difficult technically, like the voice itself is a physical challenge, and then there are other roles that are difficult emotionally.
Emotionally, I guess, with the character.
Winry, totally, because she wears her heart on her sleeve, and you can't fake it. Like the mic, a lot of people think that because we don't have our bodies, we just have the microphone, that somehow makes it easier. But this thing catches everything. So when you're faking, it can tell. And that doesn't mean that I must be actually crying tears when she is, but like the emotion has to be there. I can hear it when someone's just pretending. But she has some really intense moments, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen either of the Full Metals, but oh man, that girl, I've been places with her. You know?
At the voice acting 101 panel, I actually managed to miss half of that because I ran out of capacity. But he did talk a lot about how amazingly difficult the dubbing process was back in the days of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh my god, it sounds so
Especially-
horrible.
And then there's the fact he played about half the characters.
It was the reason he played half, like almost everyone in the
Wasn't
Frieza
like
saga.
Scott McNeil the other half or something?
No, there's a bunch of other people. But the thing is, he was working in-house at
Yeah.
Funimation.
He
so
wasn't
he was
even getting paid for all of everything.
Yeah, so he
did.
was getting paid. So he was like just getting a salary to do random
Yeah.
stuff.
He pretty much just filled wherever they couldn't get
Yeah.
another voice for.
So here he was playing half of Dragon Ball Z, and just because he was there. So that we found that kind of funny. But yeah, Sunday.
Oh, and another funny point. After the time skip in Dragon Ball Z, when they're all grown up and Baby Trunks is born and stuff like that.
So the Cell Saga?
Yeah, the Cell Saga. So this was something Chris Sabat absolutely insisted on. When you see Vegeta dressed up in his pink shirt and his mustache, he insisted that he have Vegeta call it a moustache. Do you like my moustache?
Yeah.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah, for Sunday, the very last event of the day was something called the Anime 5-minute pitch.
AKA the writer's fair, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But,
wow.
well, you had to expect that, considering.
Yeah.
But no, the whole point of this event is we get people up from the audience. They've prepared beforehand. They do a quick pitch for something that could be turned into an anime, and the panel of judges gives their responses to it. And this was supposed to be hosted by Brad Swale. So the panel of judges was supposed, as I was told by the administration.
Yeah, but see, you were told by the administration Brad Swale was supposed to be there. I looked at the schedule. His name was nowhere there.
I thought I saw it.
Nope.
Because a lot of people were staring. A lot of people were expecting him too.
I looked. I might have been in the description.
Yeah, might have been.
But I looked at the schedule and just said 5-minute pitch.
Yeah, but the thing was, so a lot of people were in that room looking for Brad Swale, and he didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sitting there like,
I guarantee you, they didn't tell him.
yeah, because he was telling me that too. Like last year, he ran the karaoke.
Yeah.
But he was telling me this story about how he had not actually been informed beforehand of the karaoke until the day of, when he was actually flipping through the schedule. Yeah, he was flipping through the schedule last year, and it's just like, oh hey,
like,
karaoke.
hey, I should be here.
Hey, a karaoke. That sounds fun. It's like, let's just read the description. Hosted by Brad Swale.
Excuse me?
What? So he actually went to the event coordinator. He's like, I seem to be hosting something.
I seem to be voluntold for this event.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, well, it'll be fine. You can do it. And he went, and he had a blast anyway, so he didn't mind. But you know, I'm pretty sure.
Move.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just one of those things. You know, he didn't know about it. He just.
That's the thing.
He was probably back at the airport.
Yeah.
He was probably at the airport on a flight out of there.
Probably. Yeah.
It doesn't bother me
but
at all.
Anyways,
but
what
we ended up doing here was we waited for him for a few minutes because a lot of the audience was waiting for him.
I ran around for a bit trying to find him.
And it didn't happen, so we got back, and the minute Fleets walked back into the room, I was like, you here now.
Yeah.
So
and I ended up setting up the panel of judges, and it was me, Itchy, and Fleets. And we were just like, you'll have to make do with us.
Yeah.
And, you know...
I actually made
that was a pretty good mix, though, because you got, like, Super Robot, Magical Girl, and, like, Sentai.
I'm not entirely sure where that came from. Like, I got put in as Magical Girl there.
Dude, you
actually made a Super Robot.
Well, sorry.
Super
Real robot. Real
I know.
robot.
I'm the Super Robot fan.
I actually made a comment to the crowd that you were getting a nice varied opinion.
Yeah,
which was
because we all had
interesting.
very different tastes here, and it was like, oh yeah, hey.
Every pitch had some apocalyptic twist to it.
There was one that didn't, but
that
almost
one guy,
everyone.
yeah, that one.
No, you know what?
No, Itchy. That one guy was making it up as he went. That was the one guy who didn't prepare. He was noticing the same thing Fleets did about how everybody who came up, everything was dark.
Yeah.
It was like, especially that one guy who finished it off.
The angel and his sister. Oh my god.
Some of it really threw me for a loop as he was going. But I was going to say there was
it sounded like something Clamp would do.
Yeah.
Or like Clamp.
No, there was that last guy. There was that last guy of the day who just had to throw in the creepiest premise for a show ever. And it was just like, oh my god. I'm just sitting there, he's talking about, oh yeah, this guy is half demon and he raped this girl and blah blah blah. And he's murdered all these people. And we're all just sitting there like, I
somehow in the middle of that, I just tuned out. I'm like, I'm gonna just tune at the end and somehow hope I understand what's going on.
And then I'm just like, the back of my mind, I'm just like, this sounds like a really fucked up Blue Exorcist. And I said that out loud over the mic, and I got a laugh out of the crowd because they were in agreement. And then we got that. But, you know, at the end of that thing, I think it went pretty well for an event. We had almost no clue what we were doing for.
But no, there was
the host didn't show up.
There was that one girl who came up with the freaking Monster series, and I'm like, someone sell this to Hasbro.
No, that was Camphor. That was Camphor, but more well done.
Yeah, that was Camphor.
And she had drawings and shit and passed them along to us.
And we were sitting there like,
wow.
Yeah. And I was like, you know, if ever I wanted someone to go back and do Camphor properly,
it would
be like
Camphor plus Digimon plus a couple of other things.
Yeah, it really was. But yeah, so
that was the only non-apocalyptic,
the
only rape involved pitch we got.
That was that was a highlight.
And then someone said wanted us to do a pitch. So not being prepared.
Not being prepared, just coming with random stuff. I gotta say, there was a lot of.
I was gonna do something sort of serious face, and then someone said pony.
And we all know how that went, considering we had a brony on the panel.
The only one.
The only one on the panel. Because me and Itchy are still very staunchly the ones who aren't into pony.
What did I can't even remember what it was. Some pony he finds he finds a robotic pony he finds in a in a ditch somewhere, and it was like a kid, and people made fun of him because his feet were too big, and the pony said if he helped him,
suffice to say it was pretty screwed up.
Yeah.
But it was just out there, and it got a good laugh out of the crowd.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it went pretty well. And that was pretty much Fan Expo.
Yeah, and then that was.
And then we piled into a car. We met up with one of the others. We met up with one of the other staff guys, and according to him, our department was the only one that didn't get any specific complaints.
Yeah, I know that amazed me.
First time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, there's a reason for that probably. We were also the only department in the entire convention that had no volunteers.
Yeah.
It's like our department was run entirely by an actual group of staff who were getting paid for this.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of people who actually have a good reason to be trying their hardest versus a group section with 2 people trying their hardest and about 5 people who don't really have to do anything.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. Like, it makes sense.
I think part of it was that we just wanted to have a good time with the guests.
We did.
And we did.
So and we did. And we did. So that kind of
ourselves with
that was kind of like the chill factor.
Yeah. So especially like me with Brad Swale, Mike McFarland, Chris Sabat when I had him too.
Yeah. Chris was a cool guy.
All the 3 of them were great guys. Caitlin Glass, I had a blast with her too.
Yeah. I actually had some fun hanging out with Colleen Klinkenbeard too. I escorted her around to a couple things.
Vic, I would have liked to hang out with Vic more. I didn't really get much of a chance to. And the one time I did have a chance to actually walk and chat with him, he was still very concerned about the concert the next day, and so a lot of our conversation was more about technical con stuff, and I really didn't get a chance to have a fun chat with him.
I fully intended going into the con to ask Vic about what he thinks about Little Karibo trolling him so hard, and I completely spaced out.
I think Kevin said something about that.
Yeah. Well, Kevin said something in the background when Vic wasn't listening.
Because Vic was talking with someone, and someone asked him how he pronounces his name, and then Kevin just burst out.
Kevin jumps in the back with Vic Minyanya.
Yeah. And then he just goes, man, I hate it when that happens.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was all in all a pretty good weekend.
Yeah. For our first time at Fan Expo, I actually think it went pretty good. It's just that the only part that didn't go good was what we planned to get footage to put on.
We planned to get so much footage. We planned to run around all the demos and get all the stuff and use all this good equipment we had, and then it largely didn't
refers to the note to self that refers to the other note to self that refers to the other note to self. Manpower.
Yeah, we need more people next year. We were so busy working, we didn't get that much footage. What little footage we did get is pretty much spaced out amongst. It's what you've been watching for the last little while. We didn't really have anywhere to put it because there wasn't enough of any specific thing. So we've been throwing it in here. So yeah.
Yeah. Hobby Star, which runs Fan Expo, usually does another event, 2 events actually.
Actually 4.
Well, yeah, but the ones that we're concerned with are the anime ones. It's called the DTAC and MTAC.
Yeah, the Toronto Anime Con.
Yeah. If you remember, people watching the website, we were actually at DTAC last year.
We
that was our first instance of staff.
That was our first time working with them, and
we got to hang out with Mike McFarland on that one.
Yeah,
too.
because he showed up for Win, Lose or Draw, and he was playing with us, and he was actually playing it around, and it was fun. We actually have that on video up on the site.
Yep.
So if you want to check out that, it's in December, usually the second weekend or something.
Usually like first, second weekend, somewhere within.
You look up
because they don't want to put it right near Christmas. That's the thing.
If you want to get an exact date, go to hobbystar.com. You can find it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll most definitely be running the.
Well, more than likely we'll be at DTAC, we'll be at MTAC, If luck holds, and frankly we're pretty sure of it at this point because we haven't gotten any complaints, if luck holds, we'll be back at Fan Expo next year running the anime side of things. With experience.
Yes!
With experience.
With experience. And
I will not fuck up the schedule this time!
And also we understand we have to go double check a couple things next year.
Yep.
Because we want to make sure that what happened this year doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
I will not park in a TTC zone.
That's the smart thing to learn. Anyways, so for XC Studios, I'm Raven.
I'm Fleetscut.
And I'm Ichida.
Alright,
Yeah,
take care, guys. Have a good night, and see you hopefully
around.
at another event.
Subscribe!
I'm recording video. I'm recording some video. Let me focus on Kevin's face. La la la, it's too fucking dark.